Hey guys, what's up? I've wanted to make this for a little bit now. It's a great idea, I think, which is so powerful to train your sales agents, to train your actual humans. In all honesty, I think in a world where AI becomes more and more accessible, talking to a real human is super powerful, but that doesn't mean that you can't train your people on AI and use AI to leverage their learning experience. So let's do that. First things first, I'm going to open up ChatGPT to use all of the knowledge it has about me, about my company, all of this, to work with that. And the next thing we're also going to do is build a voice agent in 11 Labs. I'll show you guys how to use this link to train people, and I'll share it with the sales community as well. So once you get in, you see this conversational AI, and we see agents. Now, what's really important is that you need something to train the AI on, the knowledge base, the information that you need, and we can even use AI to do that. So this can be a blank template, let's say that. Sally, the sales prospect, no, Peter, the prospect, sales training, AI. Let's start with a blank slate and let's create this agent on 11 Labs. Now, Peter the prospect, we can go through it and we can talk about some of the things that he does or should do. Let's keep it in English to keep it as accessible as possible. As you can see, it can understand many languages. But we'll just do the agent language. Any additional languages the caller will be able to choose from. The language needs to be specified up front and cannot be detected automatically mid-conversation. Means that up front the person has to either speak English or Dutch. And here you can see it can be overwritten. Check out the security tab to configure overrides. So here we can see a few other things required by additional languages. First message, system prompt, voice. We don't want this to be enabled. This means that all the things the user can change. So let's go back to the agent. First message. Hello. This is Peter. Who am I speaking with? This will just be the simple way to answer anytime Peter picks up the phone. And then we see the system prompt. Now here we're just going to do some prompt engineering, going in on my GPT 4.5, which is the most humankind model. Help me create the system prompt. You're a AI prompt expert, sales expert, and professional copywriter. And the system prompt for my 11 Labs AI agent that will pretend to be Peter the prospect. Peter is designed to help sales agents get better at sales and can do a lot of things, but mainly focuses on being the most realistic and human-like prospect that my sales agents can practice on. Okay, so now we give it a premise. And here I can even give this little system prompt, and using specific prompt engineering tools that have already been pre-trained is super clever, but this is just my own understanding and ideas of how to create this and how to make this super good. We should also give the salesperson a little bit of a setup and allow them to set up like, hey, what is the context of this? So maybe include in the prompt that they can give some feedback or give some information on how the agent should talk. Like, okay, so Peter, today you are a person that signed up to the fitness newsletter, or in the beginning, the salesperson can say, hey, Peter, this is Sayed calling from Weblyfe. You've applied yourself to our contact form, and I'm curious to hear how we can help you today in realizing your ideal vision or goals. So this would also set the premise, but it depends on how we want it to work. So let's have a look. Okay, this looks good. And to be honest, these instructions are detailed enough for our Peter to work. But the best thing you can always do is to test, 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 test. Now for LLM, we're going to select Gemini 1.5 since it's the fastest. And you can see there are so many different LLMs to use and plug it into. Temperature is the parameter that controls the creativity or randomness of a response. I think the more high it is, the more creative, and the lower it is, the less creative. So let's do it high. Here we can see token limit usage. Now I want to actually maybe limit this, because if I share this with a lot of people, they're going to finish all my credits. So let's put this at, I don't know how many tokens, 11 labs tokens for minutes, 10 minutes of ultra high. I think one token, let's see how much, 30 minutes of ultra high quality text to speech per month, speech to text, 50 minutes of conversations with up to 6 concurrent requests. Okay, maybe I'm not sharing this with people, but we will definitely demo it to people so they see what's possible. So I'll leave this to -1. Now here we have the knowledge base. We can add a lot of information and documents to this. For example, best books on sales. Wow. On sales, sales closing, Zig Ziglar's secrets of closing the sale. This could be a really good resource to say, like, hey, we want you to base it off of information from this book. And I think I've heard a lot of this. So Zig Ziglar's secrets of closing the sale PDF. I'll probably find the PDF somewhere for free on archive.org. Since it's a book that's so old, it probably has copyright that has been finished or expired. Now it's a 420-page book. It says borrow unavailable. But of course we're a little pirate, so without doing anything illegal, I'll just quickly snag this book from somewhere. Okay, we're back, and I was able to get the information. So if I go to knowledge base here, I can actually upload Zig Ziglar's content. So if I press create document, and EPUB is allowed. So EPUB is exactly the one that I use, because the PDF would be very, very big. Now here I input the file, and we can also input other stuff, like we can input transcripts in text format, we can input URLs about websites and stuff. And here we see Zig Ziglar's document is too large to show the content, which makes sense. And then if we go back here, we can actually connect it. We could have also uploaded here directly, but I wanted to go here to make sure. So enable RAG. Now RAG stands for, or like, it basically means it's going to organize the whole database. What does RAG stand for when it comes to AI knowledge base? So we just have a little bit of background. Retrieval augmented generation. It enhances language models by retrieving relevant information from external knowledge base and integrating it into the generated response. It can provide more accurate, specific, and contextually relevant answers. So we always want to do RAG. Now, RAG needs to be indexed so that AI can search through it properly and easily. And as you guys can see, this is not rocket science. This is all pretty simple and it may sound interesting. Now, where it gets really cool is you can enable tools. So you can add certain tools like N8N, which allow you to make it interact with knowledge bases, with calendars and all this kind of stuff. But for now, we just do this and we're good. I'm going to save this. And one more thing that I probably want to do is you also want to give feedback. So I want to expand this Peter, the prospect, and I say at the end of a sales call or before a sales call begins, I want Peter to give the sales agent the option to set the scene and give context. The sales agent is also instructed that they can end the role play by saying role play or end role play. I wanted to do something nerdy like role play exitus, but no, we don't need to do Harry Potter stuff here. End role play. And they can start it by saying start role play. And here let's adjust this prompt like that. Oh, and I just realized also give the prospect, the agent, the option, the sales agent at the end of the call to have a detailed breakdown based on the AIDA model and be given specific feedback on their role play and sales techniques. Optional. Allow users also to pick a difficulty level in the prospect from 1 to 10. 1 being very easy to sell to and 10 being very difficult to sell to. So now it's going to rewrite it, update the instructions, and basically we're programming it. And also programming is language, coding language, the language of humans is also programming. When you do a sales conversation with someone, you're also programming them basically. So let's try all this out, put it in, and then start playing with it and have some fun with it. I've put the prompt in, and now we're going to save the agent. I press save, and here we can see the link. This link I can quickly send to myself. Peter the prospect, and this link is also the link that I'm going to use to test it. Now let's go ahead and actually test it. I'll test it on my phone just to make sure that I won't stop the recording in any way or mess up the recording. And it's 12:12, by the way. I'm taking a good night's sleep today, sleeping early because my mind. Okay, we've got it. It's loaded up. We can embed this. We can also connect it with Twilio to an actual phone number. So when we call it, but the easiest way to test it is like this.
Hello, this is Peter. Who am I speaking with?
Hi, Peter. This is Sayed. I'd like to practice some sales.
Hi, Sayed. It's nice to meet you. What would you like to sell me? I'm a pretty tough customer, so be prepared to answer some tough questions. What industry are you in?
Okay, bro. We're going to sell. Okay, actually, Peter, let's start over. Oh, wait.
All right, no problem. I'm here to help you practice your sales skills. Before we get
Yes.
started, it would help if you could give me a little more information. What are we going to sell?
I will
Can you tell me a little bit of...
just give me 1 second. I'm setting up my camera, Peter. I'm just making sure that I'm also recording this for everything. So, okay, cool. Let's start it over.
Hello, this is Peter. Who am I speaking with?
Hey, Peter, this is Sayed. I'd like to practice some sales with you.
Hey, Sayed. Great to meet you. What would you like to sell me today? And what's the difficulty level you want to set for this role play? I can be pretty tough to crack if you want a real challenge, but I'm also happy to be an easy sale if you'd prefer to focus on building rapport. Just let me know. And we
Okay,
can
bro.
Get started.
Let's do this. I'm selling you Weblyfe University. It's a coaching program that allows you to learn everything about branding, design, AI, systems, automations in 2025 using the latest tech and technology. I'm selling this as Sayed, the founder of this course and community, and I want you to set the sales difficulty to like a 6.
Okay, Sayed the founder. Let's see what you got. 6 out of 10, huh? I'm intrigued by the idea of staying ahead of the curve with branding, design, and AI automation tech for 2025, but I'm also busy and there are a lot of courses out there. Tell me, what makes Weblyfe University different from the rest? And what's the big deal with this 2025 stuff? I mean, it's still pretty far off, isn't it?
Okay, brother. It's very simple. So, why would you want to learn from me if what you can learn from anyone is. I'm fucking up already. Okay, Peter. So, you want to know what the difference is between Weblyfe University and other people? Quite simply, we do something that works. Why would you want to learn this stuff, anyways, to begin with? Okay, let's try that again.
Hello, this is Peter. Who am I speaking with?
Hey Peter, this is Sayed. I'd like to practice some sales in a role play.
Okay, Syed, I'm happy to help you practice your sales skills. Before we begin the role play, what kind of difficulty level are you looking for? You can choose a number from 1 to 10, with 1 being the easiest
I'd
and
like
10 being
to
the most difficult.
I'd like to sell you Weblyfe University. It's a course about branding, website creation, systems, AI, automations, and it's done by me, Sayed, the founder of this Weblyfe University. And I'd like to set the difficulty to a 6 out of 10.
That sounds interesting. Let's give it a go. I'm getting the feeling that you're a busy guy, Syed. So fire away. What makes Weblyfe University so special? And how can you help me with my brand and website?
Well, it truly depends, Peter. What is your interest in branding, website systems, and automations to begin with?
That's a fair question. To be honest, Syed, I'm not sure I'm actively looking to revamp anything at the moment. You're right, it really depends. What are some of the struggles you see people having with their brands and websites that Weblyfe University addresses?
Well, it's all about you and your personal things. So in the end of the day, we're not really selling a course or a community. We're truly selling a lifestyle that allows you to work from anywhere in the world, to be able to travel wherever you want, and to have one of the most highly sought after skill sets in the current marketplace. Is that something you'd be interested in?
You know, Syed, that does sound appealing. I've always dreamed of being able to work from anywhere, travel, and have a flexible lifestyle. Can you tell me more about how Weblyfe University can help me achieve that? Like, how can learning about branding, websites, and automations make that happen? I don't want to just learn those things. I want to know how it will help my specific goals.
Well, let's first find out, what are your specific goals, Peter? What are you hoping to achieve in your life?
You're right, Syed. It's important to get down to the details. For me, I'd love to work remotely, do some traveling, and eventually have my own business, one that gives me a lot of freedom and control. Can you help me understand how Weblyfe University fits into that?
What's your life
Curious to hear
what's
more.
your life like right now, and how far would you say you're off to that ideal vision of you having the freedom? So what do you do right now in your life?
Okay, Syed, good question. Right now, I'm working a pretty typical 9 to 5 job. It's all right, but it's not very fulfilling. I feel stuck, and I know I could achieve so much more. I guess you could say I'm a long way off from my ideal. I'm yearning for that freedom, and I'm always looking for opportunities to make a change. So, how does Weblyfe University help me achieve that sort of change? What
Okay,
kind of
bro.
skills will it teach me that will be instrumental?
On a scale of 1 to 10, how badly do you want to change that situation that you're currently in, that current 9 to 5? So I can tell you step by step how the skills would help you to go from that situation that you're in right now to the life of freedom, travel, and opulence that you're looking for.
Syed, I'd say it's a solid 9 out of 10. I'm so ready for a change, and the idea of working remotely and having that real freedom is incredibly appealing. Let's hear it then. Tell me how Weblyfe University can help me transform my life.
Well, first off, you can actually learn the skills without any prior experience or knowledge through this patented step-by-step system that I've created myself. It's based on real-world results, and I've built several multiple million-dollar brands using this exact method. Now here's a little secret. You'll be able to gain all of these insights and do it in only a period of 2 months. And I've had several testimonials of students that have learned branding, web design, website automations, and also learning how to bring them all together and build million-dollar brands. They have been able to go from like measly 500 euros a month as a side hustle to making 9,000 to 14,000 euros a month with this service. And the big secret is this: you can maybe learn many of these skills online, but you will never learn how to bring them together in such a high velocity and efficiency. Is this something that you think is possible, knowing all of the results and all of the other students I've helped, as well as my own results and my own story throughout my agency and the successes I've booked, that this is something that you could learn too?
Syed, that's pretty impressive. It's a lot to take in, but hearing about your real world results and the testimonials is definitely making me think. I'm a bit skeptical about learning everything in just 2 months, but the idea of going from a measly amount to a few thousand euros a month really does intrigue me. Would you be able?
Oh, damn, I think I ran out of credits. I got so engaged, that was interesting enough for me to get engaged. Okay, guys, that's it. I've built a sales thing in less than 20-ish minutes. The rest, like 7 of those were practicing. So yeah, enjoy, and I'll talk to you guys soon.